Don't tell me I don't believe in Tesla, god damn it. I got a Tesla battery hooked up to my vape. That's how much I believe in Tesla. On this edition of Bong Talk and other musings. So the crybaby millionaires, they want to take a knee before the game. They want to take a knee before the game, but they don't want to lend a hand to the hood afterwards. The first thing they want to do is run in their fancy cars and get the hell out of Dodge. Maybe write a check to the hood in place of the time and devotion that they should show to the hood, in which they don't. Instead of making the games more accessible to the people in the hood, all it is accessible now is a bunch of millionaires, whether they're black or white. This is a bunch of nonsense. Take a knee and my club and your ass is out on the street. You want to act like you want to act like a commie? Go to China. They got plenty of room. Get your knee off our necks? Yeah. And take your knee off of the neck of the hood in which you've had for the last 50 years under the liberal progressive democratic rule of Chicago and all these other cities. It's not being done in Republican cities. The chaos is not prevailing in Republican cities. It's all being done under liberal democratic rule, and now chaos prevails. And now, what are you going to do? You're going to call on the Marines. You're going to call Trump. You're going to call whoever you got to call. And you got to unfuck that situation and square that place away. And then law and order has to prevail, or the real protesters aren't able to accomplish their right under the Constitution. So once you get rid of the knuckleheads, once you start cuffing them up and start giving them federal cases, and their little parents find out what kind of money that these lawyers get for these federal cases, I'll bet you that shit stops in 0.15 seconds. That's faster than the goddamn Tesla stock going up like my riches. I'm a thousandaire, damn it. That's another thing. I want to know why Kenosha turned down a grant to get cameras for the patrol officers, especially in this day and age. It ain't like it was 10, 15, 20 years ago where maybe you can get away with it. In this day and age, the way things are with litigation, the department's fault for turning down protection for their own officers and their own liabilities? Who does that and why? That'd be a question I want. This whole fuck story possibly could have had more light thrown on it had there been cameras, had there been officers with cameras on that scene, and they had an opportunity to get and turn it down. You're just as goddamn guilty for causing the confusion as the people that are doing the confusion. And you know what? Both of you should pay. The people causing the confusion and the people letting the confusion take place. You got to set the rest of us free. In Florida, you got all these little stores, restaurants, and shops, 90% of which aren't even open. But you got people in Walmart. I go into the goddamn Walmart. Not only do I gotta go in one entrance and they gotta fiddle fuck me around, everybody's gotta go on one side. Once you're inside, they got fucking crime scene tape off every goddamn where. You're like a rat in a goddamn bed. I want to go to one end of the store. I want to order water. If I want to get this, I'll go to the other store. I need pet. I said, how the hell do I? The only way that I can see getting around crime scene tape is to just take the shit down and go fucking through it. It's just that simple. They're shoving people into even tighter quarters. Why would you do that? If you got a limited number of people inside of a goddamn Kmart or Walmart, why would you want to further shove them into narrow lanes where they're forced to be together? Why wouldn't you want them spread out as far as they can without restriction, and they can get out of there a lot easier without having to concentrate and going through a goddamn maze like they're a bunch of rats? Wear your mask. A lot of these small businesses, they're pissed off because they can't take the amount of customers they need to keep a living. The customers are pissed off because they got to go to a goddamn restaurant and eat. They can't even order without a mask. So you got everybody pissed off at each other for no goddamn reason at all. You need to stop this nonsense. Take off these stupid friggin' masks. Mingle. The survivors are tough. You'll make it. If you're not, hey, if it's your time, what the fuck you want from me? But I'm going to tell you what. Thank God the Attorney General of the United States demanded statistics, notes, and everything that's involved in the deaths of those old people in those nursing homes, where they directly told those people to accept them people into their institutions with COVID viruses and let them mingle with people that are non-COVID and are on death's bed. That can only wind up as the tragedy that it did. And you know what? All of them governors are guilty of murder. Period. All we need now is a trial. In Chicago, you got the best, most well-trained police department in the United States. They have the ability to maintain order. They have the ability to maintain justice. When you tell the citizens of your city that it's acceptable to riot, pillage, and steal from anybody because they just feel like they want to do it, you've lost control of your city. And at this point, there's no gaining it back. The gangs are in control of Chicago, and there is no turning back from this point. What are you going to do now? All of a sudden, you want to be a tough guy? It doesn't work like that. Until that mayor or other leadership is in there in the city of Chicago and they just tell everybody, we're going to have a big meeting. We got the parents, we got the schools, we got the cops, we got the grievances, the beefers, the assholes, everybody's sitting at the table. And now one of us is leaving this fucking table until we come up with a piece of paper that says what the rules of our game. And number one rule is nobody throws stones, nobody assaults people, ruins businesses, or does any type of destructive behavior, or they're going to wind up in jail. That's rule one. Who agrees with rule one? I do. Well, I don't. Oh, you don't. Well, guess what? The first gangs that come around here, guess what we're going to do? We're going to send them to your crib. Chicago does not have control of its city any longer. The sheriff doesn't help. All he wants to do is pass out pizzas. That's all he wants to do. I have not seen him make a joint statement with the mayor or county commissioners or all the big shot, all the suits, all the bosses. I've never seen them make a joint statement about how it's unacceptable for all of this violence to go on in Cook County in our city, and we're all coming together for a common cause to stop this bullshit. And that's the bottom fucking line. All I see you pussies do is want to pass around pizzas, propaganda, and other bullshit. I'm glad I'm here in Florida. I even heard that some of this stuff went down in Sarasota. Sarasota? Are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't believe that shit. But guess what? They ended that crap. Wherever that shit comes up, it's got to be squashed. Another reason that law enforcement lost a lot of credibility, several years ago in Boston in one of them riots, they had the police chief and bosses marching with protesters. You cannot mix that. Law enforcement is law enforcement, and they're neutral. They stay out of it. As soon as you relate yourself or start to take sides, guess what's going to happen? People like Al Sharpton, which they did, got on TV and says, oh yeah, we got the chief of the police and the sheriff and every goddamn buddy else on our side. So why wouldn't we want to be encouraged to riot? Why wouldn't we want to sit down? Why wouldn't we want to talk? Because that does nothing but encourage bad behavior. Your only job is to keep order, keep the peace, keep the Constitution, period. Anybody that violates that shit, you cuff them, lock them up, slam them, dunk them, and believe me, after a stint in the county fucking jail, or they get one of these jagoff federal courts, they're going to get so spun around that they will never fuck up again ever in their whole fucking life. Trust me on that.